Look at that. Skeleton's in, skin's bound, animation's playing, and it still looks completely wrong. Where AccuRig does 90% of the job perfectly, and then hands you the last 10% as a problem you didn't know you'd have. Let's go back to the start, and I'll show you exactly where this went sideways, and how I fixed it. Here's the model. Straight FBX export, no rig, no skeleton, just geometry. First step, bring it into AccuRig. AccuRig's whole pitch is, give it a mesh, it gives you a production-ready skeleton back. So let's see if that holds up. Create guides. This is where you tell AccuRig roughly where the joint should sit. It's not guessing. You're placing markers at wrists, elbows, knees, hips. Generate skeleton. One click, and it builds a full humanoid skeleton off your guides. Bind skin, and this is the automatic weight painting step. AccuRig calculates how much influence each bone has over each vertex. 3 steps. Maybe 10 minutes of actual work. And on paper, the model's done. So now the real test. Drop in one of Character Creator's built-in motion clips and see how it holds up. And there it is. The bottom face area is distorted. And this is the part that trips up, because the instinct is to think something broke in the rigging step. It didn't. The skeleton's fine. The problem lives one layer deeper in how much influence each bone has over the mesh around it. And that's fixable, manually. Bone by bone, vertex by vertex if you have to. First thing, before I even touch the weights, I ran Polygon Reduction on the mesh. And a lighter mesh means every weight adjustment I make next actually behaves the way I expect it to. Now into the actual fix, the skin weights tool. There's a subtract brush in here, and this is the key move. Instead of guessing where the bad influence is, I go bone by bone. Open the hierarchy panel, click on a bone, and it lights up exactly which part of the mesh that bone is affecting. Open hierarchy righto, select a bone. Show the highlighted weight influence for that bone. Use subtract to paint down the excess influence around it. So this isn't random painting, it's diagnostic. Select a bone, look at what it's pulling, and only then decide if it needs correcting. And this is where it actually shows up. I get to the head bone, select it in the hierarchy, and there it is. The influence is bleeding way further down than it should, into territory the neck and shoulders should be handling. That's it. That's the whole problem. One bone, overclaiming mesh that isn't really its job. Obviously, I selected the add paint operation for the meshes here. Where the head hands off to the neck, I switch tools entirely. Edit mesh into sculpt and use the smooth tool. Instead of fighting the weight values directly, smooth blends the transition itself. So the handoff between bones stops looking like a hard edge and starts looking like skin. And now, same animation, same clip that broke it at the start of this video. Watch the head and neck this time. The tool gets you 90% there in 10 minutes. The other 10% is knowing where to look, and that only takes one extra tool in about 5 minutes once you know the pattern. Let me know in the comments. Thank you.